3 years ago, I was struggling to get people to read my blog. I was struggling to get them onto my site in the first place. I was honestly so lost. Now, today I get hundreds of people to my website every single day. And my secret weapon, yep, Pinterest. If you want to know how I get 900,000 to 1 million monthly views on Pinterest and how I transform that into website traffic for my blog and business, keep watching. Hi there, I'm Katie of whatskatieupto.com and I'm a Swiss blogger and Pinterest expert. And today I want to teach you how you can explode your blog traffic with Pinterest. So why is every blogger raving about Pinterest? 3 years ago, I was really struggling to get people to read my blog. So I started researching on how to get more traffic. SEO, so search engine optimization, and Google was the first thing that popped up. But the more I read, the more confused I got. Eventually, I started to learn about the power of Pinterest and how it could help me attract hundreds of blog readers. And I got a little obsessed. Now I get thousands of website visitors every month to my blog directly from Pinterest. It just works. So today I want to go over the basics of how Pinterest can help you grow your blog and get your content in front of your ideal blog reader. Oh, and before we jump in, make sure you grab your free guide on how to get 10 customers from Pinterest to your website in the next 10 days in the description below. Okay, let's start with step number 1. I call this the Pinterest process, and I'm going to talk to you about how you can redirect Pinterest users to your blog. So maybe you are in a similar situation as I was a few months back, and you simply can't manage to get people to visit your blog. First of all, it's not you just haven't figured out your working process yet. So let me get over the basics of how the Pinterest process looks like for me and my website, and how you can apply this to your website or blog as well. So how do you get traffic to your website with Pinterest? So the first step, what you want to do is create a dedicated Pinterest profile only for your blog. So this profile, as you can see, has nothing to do with how you use Pinterest in your free time. Your new Pinterest profile is basically here to only promote you and your blog. If you need help setting up a free Pinterest account, check out the video above. Now, the second step you want to do is design pins that are dedicated for each of your blog posts or products and pin them to your Pinterest board. So you have these boards here and you want to pin your pins to your boards. So if we go into a blog post of mine, so I wrote this blog post about the 10 most important blogging tools of 2020. And if you click on the little Pinterest extension here, you can see that I've created 3 pins for this blog post. And if I take this pin, I press next, I can choose a board such as blogging tips, and I can save it to this board. So let me just click on see it now. You can see the pin is here. And now it's on Pinterest. So whenever someone is looking for the 10 most important blogging tools or just blogging tools, they find this pin, they click on the pin, and they are redirected to that specific blog post that you just saw here. So this is the basic process of how Pinterest works. So I actually want to go into analytics a little bit, and you can see that this pin that I actually pinned in May 2020 got 21,000 impressions. So that's how many people saw this pin on Pinterest, and 193 people clicked on that. Now, this is really insane. And I just want to mention that Pinterest analytics aren't really that reliable, but it's still insane how many people saw that pin. And I just want to jump into Google Analytics real quick and show you how many people actually came over from Pinterest through this pin, because it's not just 139 people as Pinterest tells you. So let's jump into analytics here, and you can see that I pinned this pin. So this is pin number XYZ here, and if you click on that, you can see it's this pin, right? And you can see that I posted this pin on May 10th. And you can see it brought me consistent traffic over the next 6 months. And you can see it brought me over 456 new users to my website, which I think this is really incredible because this is just one single pin, right? I have hundreds of blog posts on my blog. I even created 3 pins, if you remember, for this single blog post. But this pin alone brought me over 500 people to my website. And you might be saying, okay, but this doesn't look so good right now. What happened here? So this is a very seasonal pin, right? So this is the 10 most important blogging tools for 2020. And we are closing into 2021. But I can see that this pin was really successful. So what I would do right now is go ahead and create a new blog post that I post right now about, I don't know, the 20 or 10 most important blogging tools for 2021. And I promise you, you will see again a huge increase for that blog post because you already know now a lot of people are looking for this. And you can see that I get over 712,000 monthly viewers. This varies for me between 600,000 and a million views. So my analytics really sometimes spikes and sometimes goes down, but it's around that usually. And think about it, if only 1% of those people viewing my pins click over to my website, that's 7,000 people coming from Pinterest to my website. And I'm just being like conservative, so it's 1%, right? But what if 10% would click over to my website? That's a huge amount of traffic coming from Pinterest to my website. Okay, so in step number 2, I want to focus on your account and your niche. As I've mentioned, I would like you to start a new dedicated Pinterest account for your blog only. But why is this important? You want to attract people to your blog who care about your topic and not just a random person. Why? Because the random dude won't stay on your blog and won't buy your products. Now, the key here is to focus only on the niche your blog or biz is in, and then optimize your Pinterest profile to this topic or niche or theme. So if you don't have a Pinterest business account yet, don't worry. Check out my video on how to set up a totally free Pinterest business account where I walk you through the setup process in just a few minutes. It's really easy. Okay, so let's make an example so it's more clear why you should start your own Pinterest business account and focus on only one specific niche to attract your ideal blog reader or customer. So you can see I blog about digital marketing and social media, right? And if you look at my Pinterest profile, do you see boards about recipes? Do you see boards with makeup ideas? Or do you see boards about cute puppies? No, you don't. And even though I am actually interested in all of these topics, these belong to my personal Pinterest account, which belongs only to me, and I can pin whatever the heck I want. Now, your Pinterest business account is a place for your audience and not you. Now, the more targeted your niche is, the better your pins will perform on Pinterest. This is because, as in many social medias, priority is given to pins which resonate well with your audience and subscribers and receive a high early engagement. So if you pin a new pin to Pinterest and it resonates a lot with your subscribers, Pinterest will see this as a pin that's relevant and will boost it and give it more distribution. But on the other hand, if you pin a new pin that has nothing to do with your niche, but your followers would expect to hear something about a topic that you usually talk about, then this pin won't resonate with them and Pinterest won't distribute it as much as it would a pin that is relevant to your niche. Now, this is why it's so important not to create a recipe board if you are a DIY blogger, or creating a board about pets when you are actually a wedding photographer. Now, let me know if this makes sense in the comments below. I get this is complicated, but just let me know if you have any questions in the comments and I will get back to you. Okay, I want to talk about how consistency leads to growth on Pinterest. So in order to use Pinterest to grow your blog, you first need to grow your Pinterest account. And a big part is actually posting consistently on Pinterest. And my personal mantra for my Pinterest strategy is pinning consistently rather than pinning an overwhelming amount of pins one day but then nothing for a week. So I'm here in TAILWIND and you can see that I pin 5 to 25 pins every single day and mostly my own pins. Now you can check out my video on how to design Pinterest pins in second if you're like, oh my god, I don't have time for that. I got you, and it's way faster than you think. Now I am using a scheduler, as you can see here, and it's called TAILWIND. And TAILWIND are an official Pinterest partner and endorsed by them. So yes, automating your pins is totally okay. They have actually just recently sent out an email and wrote a blog post about this, and they confirmed that Pinterest distributes their pins exactly the same way as if you were pinning manually on Pinterest. And you can have a look at this blog post and I will link it in the description below, and you can see that they tell you this here. So it doesn't matter if you're pinning manually or if you are pinning with a scheduler, your pins are distributed exactly the same way. So what I do is I use TAILWIND to schedule out my entire month of pins in advance, and this takes me literally, I would say, 1 to 2 hours a month, and then I leave it up to TAILWIND to auto post my pins to the different boards on my Pinterest account. And you can see my pins here going out. So these are the time slots, and TAILWIND is just distributing these pins to Pinterest on autopilot without me having to do anything. Now on top of that, I head into Pinterest once a day for 10 minutes or so to check my messages, check my analytics, and just be social on the platform. Now you can start a TAILWIND account for free. I will link it in the description box below. I have a ton of tutorials that are coming and on the blog, so if you're interested in seeing a video about TAILWIND, let me know in the comments as well. Okay, now our final step number 4, is to optimize your Pinterest account to explode your blog traffic. Now, I know that if you are applying what we have discussed so far, you're already seeing some movement on your Pinterest account and blog traffic. But what has really transformed my account was learning how to optimize my pins, my account, and my website for Pinterest success. So first of all, you need to optimize your pins. And you want to include big text overlays explaining how your post or product will help your reader to solve a problem they are currently having. Plus, our brain is wired to read, so pins with text attract attention a lot. You can check out my video on how to design pins. I go into a lot of details and my best tips on how to create viral pins. Secondly, you want to include relevant keywords all over your Pinterest account. So in your pin descriptions, you can see it here. Pinterest also allows you to edit your profile. So I've added keywords into my Pinterest bio here, added board descriptions, as you can see here. And these board descriptions include relevant keywords for that specific board. Now, these keywords signal Pinterest what your profile and pins are all about. And this helps Pinterest to show your pins to relevant people looking for content that relates to your profile. And third, you want to claim your website. Now, I have a blog post about how to claim your website for Pinterest. You can check it out here. Just click the card above. And all claiming your website does is say to Pinterest, hey, this is my website. Please give all pins that link to this website priority and boost them. So pins come coming from your website rather than another website will be distributed to more people on Pinterest. And you can see it here. If I zoom in here, you can see that my website, What's Katie Up To, has been claimed by Pinterest. So all pins coming from this website here will distribute to more people on Pinterest. So check out that blog post as well. It's super, super important. Now, these were the 4 easy steps how to grow traffic to your blog with Pinterest, and the exact thing I do to get 900,000 to 1 million views on Pinterest every month and turn them into thousands of blog visitors each month. Now, that's it from me for today. Don't forget to click that bell and subscribe button below so you don't miss any of my videos. I post a new video about Pinterest every Tuesday. See you soon. Cheers!